breathing. Let's talk about how to process these feelings. Because that's the hard part, right? I can say, let me put my arm around my unworthiness. And it's like, okay, Aaron, that's great, but it's kind of painful. It's kind of heavy. So there's a couple things that we can do. So in the 5 channels, we go over, okay, instead of, if telling a story was going to make us feel better, it would have. Instead of going into the story, let's talk about it sensationally. Is it moving? Is it still? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it heavy or light? What's the perfect distance for this thing to be? Do the edges feel different than the center, right? There's all these things we can do to resource ourselves to process the emotion. But another one that we can do is breath. Breath is so important. If you think about when we're angry, what does our breath do? We don't want to take in anything. We're just going to, I don't want to take in your opinion. I'm angry. When we're sad, we can't let go. So our breath instantly changes our body chemistry. So breathing deep and slow, right? Breathing longer, maybe doing different kinds of breath. But today, what we're going to do, so I don't know if you guys know Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell wrote The Power of Myth, and he had this interview with a guy named Bill Moores probably back in the late 80s. And, you know, I went to high school in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I was in early 90s. And one of my classes was watching this documentary, at least part of it. Bill Moores on PBS interviewing Joseph Campbell about the hero's journey. It's a fascinating story. Joseph Campbell is powerful. He was a powerful man. But so Bill Moores is talking about this one day where he was in this ancient campsite where these indigenous people used to live. And he's like, you know, I was out in this abandoned campsite, and I just felt this overwhelming sensation of being connected, like almost timelessly connected. And Joseph Campbell said, well, you entered the sacred grove. And Cicero, he said that Cicero said, when we go into a great tall grove and the presence of the deity is known to you, and there are sacred groves everywhere. Sacred groves are those times in your life where you are completely in the moment. So how do we enter the sacred grove? Through our breath. So we're going to do a breathing exercise that might be a little bit weird. Give it a try and see what happens. So let's just kind of drop into a quiet place and begin to breathe. Just notice your breath. Breathe in stillness. Maybe you ask yourself, is my breathing long, soft, continuous? Today we're gonna find the point, the hub of the wheel, the eye of the storm. We're gonna become the calm spot. So as you're breathing, just now put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. We're going to do a quick little wave breathing first. And so what we're going to do is on your inhale, you're going to push the belly out, fill the ribs, and sip up into the chest, all the way up. And then you're going to exhale, chest, ribs, belly back to the spine. Inhale, push the belly out. Feel the ribs expand up into the chest. Sip up just a little. And then exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Let's do that one more time. Belly, ribs expanding, chest, sip up. Fill those lungs, and then chest, ribs, belly. So now we're going to do one more. You guys can kind of just open your eyes for a second. We're going to do one more breath now. This is called bellow breathing, and this is what's going to enter us into the eye of the storm, the hub of the wheel. Bellow breathing. So what we're going to do, and this is what's going to be a little weird and uncomfortable. Do what feels right, but we're going to do some As you inhale, you're going to push the belly out. Exhale. In your nose, out your mouth. It's called bellow breathing. And we're going to do that for 30 seconds. And then what I want you to do is when we stop, feel that wave breathing and notice what happens. Notice how you're going to drop into the eye of the storm. So let's start with some bellow breathing. Couple more breaths. All right, and now stop. Feel your body relax. Just do some wave breathing. Belly, ribs, chest, soft. Chest, ribs, belly. Okay, now we're going to do it one more time. Back to the bellow breathing. Couple breaths. And then drop. It's almost like you go from being a little dizzy and you're just dropping into this moment. Feel the body, feel the quiet. Feel this energy from the heart out. And then drop in and just feel it. Okay, when you're ready, just come back. What happens when we bellow breathe is we create tension. I like to think of bellow breathing like if you picture your mind like a fist and you just make it as tight as possible, and then you let go. The breathing is kind of like the tightening. Your body's going, wait, what's happening here? What am I doing this? And then you stop and you fall into this space where your mind isn't really, your mind is just focused on the breath. So there's no mind talking. And then you fall into that state of relaxation. And it's a great way to build space. It's almost like the bellow breath is pushing this energy out. And then you relax into that sacred grove, into that truth. That in this moment, everything I need I have. I'm safe right now. And you let it all come back to center. And you can do that when you're feeling really charged. It's a great way to push that noise out. Because your body is like, okay, something's happening. Your mind's going, well, this is weird. What am I doing? And then you stop and you just feel everything settle. It's interesting, in Qigong, there's this pose called water buffalo. And in water buffalo, you're basically doing the same thing. I'll show you real quick. So you sit and you come down and you put your hands here and you do that bellow breathing. And you do that for a couple minutes and then you sit up and it's almost like everything gets lighter. Your arms automatically go up and then you bring them down and then you do it again and then they come up. And it's a really powerful reset of your mind, of your body, of your nervous system. So when you enter the sacred grove, when you activate your body through your breath to such an extent where everything is focusing on this weird bellow breathing, what am I doing? And then you settle, it really creates space from some of those heavier things. And that is really important as we're processing, using that breath to push out the emotion. Also, being able to say, okay, well, this emotion that I'm feeling, is it heavy? Is it light? Is it moving? Is it still? Is it hot? Is it cold? What do I need right now? I need to scoop it out. I need to dig it out. I need to give it to the fire. You can use your imagination to resource you, but you can also use your physical body. So we learned in the 5 channels how to use the imagination. Here, we're learning how to use the body to get us instantly. It's like a reset button. that bellow breathing, and then the quiet. And then you're going to go, oh, okay. And then, like I said, this isn't a light switch. Then you might feel those feelings coming back. But maybe they're not going to feel as strong. Maybe they're going to feel a little bit pushed out. Maybe they're going to give you just a little bit of space to gain some perspective and clarity. They say that the path to enlightenment is when the space between your body and nature blurs. That's enlightenment. And so when we begin to push out our thoughts and our emotions, and then we settle into the moment, we're connecting with everything. And then there is no good, bad. Good, not good. Now it's just, I am here. Think about it. There's a floor beneath our feet. How often are we actually aware the floor is there? We drive places and we're like, I don't even know how I got there. We live in a state of forgetfulness. We live in a trance. Awareness is the superpower. The more aware we are of this moment, the more power we have. And I don't mean force, I mean power. I am here. Every single one of us in this moment is aware of a chair beneath us, of our clothes on our skin. How do we begin to allow this awareness to become more commonplace? How do we allow ourselves to experience living without the judgments of good, not good? That's part of the shadow work, is being able to take the not good and find a way to make it good. Find a way to lean into it. Ooh, I'm feeling this exquisite grief right now. Isn't this interesting? I get to experience this grief. It's heavy. I'm going to resource myself. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to move. I'm going to use my imagination, but I'm going to approve of this grief. Because this life is not about just good. We're in a tough environment. And I don't just mean today with the Mad King and all that nonsense. I mean, it's always, humanity has always been doing this stuff. If you look at like people getting disemboweled in the streets back in medieval times, humanity has not been able to get out of its own way. We are karmic beings and we are constantly moving through our karma. But the karma are the ripples. We're the pebble. What ripples are we making? How do we incorporate all the things we deny that are impacting our ripples? What if we approved of it all? What if we made a decision to fly incarnate with them? It's okay that I'm sad. This exquisite sadness, I get to learn from it. This fear, this anxiety, this anger. What does this anger feel like? What is this anger trying to tell me about what's going on in my subconscious? Anger's been coming up for me. Because anger and unworthiness. Because I'm having a hard time accepting that this unworthiness that I'm feeling, that I learned when I was a kid, has been impacting every aspect of my life. What am I doing? I do this for a living. How did I not see this? It's okay. We are constantly evolving and growing and changing. And there is, if anybody ever tells you, you don't know, I know, run from them. They're a cult or an energy vampire. We are all here going through the same things. If anybody ever tells you, I know everything, I'm perfect, there is a lot of unconscious shadow work that person needs to do. Period. We're not meant to be perfect, but we are meant to incorporate our fears, our shames, our guilts, our pains, and be okay. How do we find the value in them? How do we meet these experiences that are not good from a different lens? Once we shift it, then the pattern shifts.